Humans are space wizards. When the humans joined the interstellar community, I think every species assumed that they were going to be absorbed into one of the large empires looming in the Orion Arm. I recall talking to my companions on the Rosab embassy ship on our way to Earth for the first formal contact. Tylu joked, "These humans are so unintelligent, they colonized a dead world before they built a space military." When we entered the human solar system, I saw that he was correct. These strange primates had decided to colonize a planet they called Mars. From what we could tell, it had always been a lifeless world. A cold, desolate little rock covered in useless red sand. After the ceremonies and official greetings, I asked one of the humans about their strange path into the stars. "Dr. Nuncoloso," I said, approaching a small, skinny human. "Unlike most creatures in the galaxy, the humans stand at an average of 2 meters shorter than myself. It is my understanding that you are the president of the Martian colony experiment." "Yes," Nuncoloso said. "I am. We are just getting to exploring the galaxy. I am excited and hopeful that your species will aid us." My air holes at the back of my neck tightened, and I expelled some air in a quiet laugh. "I must ask, why did you choose to colonize such a desolate little planet? Did you find some energy sources long dead beneath its crust?" The human doctor looked a bit confused at this. "No, the uranium on Mars was still active when we got there. Nuclear production has actually been easier than expected on the planet. But to answer your question more directly, Mars has always been of great interest to us since we first observed it over 3,000 solar years ago. It plays a vital role in many of our mythologies. My great-grandfather thought that we should preach the gospel on Mars. Uranium? My translator device told me this was the human world for the 92nd element. What use was this to the humans? I thought, perhaps, that they loved the way the element sometimes glows, and that these small creatures could be tricked into a worse deal if we gave them some useless chunk of it. I would mention this strange human tick to my supervisor, the head ambassador Ushiuxji. There was another word, Nuclear. Our dictionary was not complete yet. My device told me that the word had something to do with inner part. It did not matter, besides a passing interest. So I politely left the conversation, and after making a few more stops among the guests, I retired for the night. The day after the contact, myself and several other Rosab officials sat down with the humans to work out their conditions for joining our empire. I noticed that Dr. Nuncoloso was also in attendance and gave him a handshake, as the humans call it. "So," Ushiuxk began, "we are here to talk about what assurance you humans will need in order to join our empire. It's a big galaxy out there. As you all likely know, there are at least 4 major empires that have settlements within a 4 dozen light-years of Earth. We hope you will decide to peacefully join the Rosab. We can provide you with protection and trade networks." Actually, one of the humans stood up. "We were wondering if you could clarify a few things first." Of course, Ushiuxk said. It was not unusual for novel species to have a little trepidation at first, but they all came around, easy way or hard. One of our representatives spoke to an ambassador last night. A sort of side comment made us wonder, "What energy source are you all using?" I could see out of the corner of my 4th left eye that Ushiuxk was trying not to show their surprise. "We use fossil fuels, the same as every advanced species in the galaxy." "I see," the human continued. "We thought as much. We are still getting used to these translators. The other 3 empires you speak of also use fossil fuels?" "That is accurate." "Well," the human said, "then we actually are going to have to reject your offer to join the empire. Instead—" "Oh." This was when I stood up on my 3 hind legs. "That is most unfortunate. I was really hoping you would have joined willingly. We Rosab are among the most enlightened in this region, but we are not afraid to wage war in order to control the resources buried beneath this world. If it's really the old bones you want," the human said, "then you can have them. But I think you would be more interested to know about our nuclear energy source." That is when the diagrams came out. The humans had discovered the atomic model, just as we had, but they had taken it a step further. It is a bit difficult for me to explain, even still. Do you know how a shipbuilder may take a clump of unprocessed aluminum and make a space-worthy craft? Well, the humans have taken this thinking to a new level. Less than 50 solar years after they discovered the atom, they broke it apart. 2 days of this process releases more energy than even the most efficient fossil processing plants can produce in a Rose year. It's incredible how much energy it makes. The humans told us about a time when the technology was still new and they had had their accidents. But in the intervening years, it had become safe and even more effective. Worse of all, the process was very confusing for us. The humans said that members of their species had to spend many sol years in a school to learn how to manage a nuclear plant. They almost claimed that building such plants safely required cultural knowledge, passed down from ancient generations. They dared us to try, but warned that without experiential knowledge, great disaster could await us. We would have to treat them as equals, an independent single-star empire, in order to get access to the energy type. When we brought the message back to the Emperor, Ambassador Ushiak tried to sell it as a good deal. We would get access to this new amazing energy, all in exchange for not taking just 2 planets. The Emperor was furious with us. They had almost the entire staff removed. It was a controversial decision that some said led to the assassination a few years later. Eventually, the deal was accepted by the new Emperor. Little did we know that these petite